Hello, welcome to NouTalks podcast. This is your host, New. If you know me for a little while, you know that I travel a lot for work. I've been working in international marketing for about, I guess, 4 years now, or like 3 years and a half. And usually I travel once a month or sometimes even twice a month, which is quite a lot. I do trips over 6 hours, and with time, I've gotten really, really good at packing. And I haven't noticed that I have gotten good at it until I was having dinner the other day with one of my friends. And, she was talking to me about the podcast and she was like, oh my God, I love the episodes and things like that, which was so sweet. But, I was talking to her about, solo episodes. I was like, this is the first season that I do solo episodes, and sometimes I'm not sure which topics people would like to hear about. And, because not everyone, when you're doing a podcast, gives you an instant feedback. Since, when you're listening to a podcast, it's not like watching YouTube, right? When you watch a video on YouTube, you just, finish the video and write comments below the video. In podcasting, it's quite difficult because I feel like it's a one-way conversation, since people would just listen to a podcast and be like, okay, great, Nouhaila, thank you, bye. See you next episode. Nobody goes back to, like, very few people go back to Instagram to just text or, write a comment, which, sometimes is really like appreciated, since I really like to get your feedback and which topics you would like to hear about next. And, when I was talking to this friend of mine, she was like, you know what? I would love to just hear more about your lifestyle and things you do and how you travel so much. What's your tips for packing? How do you keep up with, work, travel, podcast, having a social life? And, she was just like so excited and interested in my life, and I was like, oh my God, okay, that sounds easy, like I would love to, because I don't really notice how good I got at different things in life, as I'm juggling work and living alone and a lot of things. And as I talk to people, I understand that sometimes it's just so nice to hear somebody else's perspective, because even though there's so much content out there about lifestyle, I don't think that we relate to everyone. And sometimes we just, find that person or that voice that we relate to, especially, I know a lot of Moroccan girls would like to, and boys would like to hear more of somebody's perspective that they relate to. So that's how I gotten around to starting, a little bit of lifestyle solo episodes, including this one. So I thought one of the first ones I'd start with is how I travel like a pro, because I think I've gotten some expertise by now. And so, to give you a little bit of backstory before I dig into my tips, so I did start traveling quite a bit with work. Before that, I used to travel, for holidays. I used to go, on like trips, personal trips, or summer school, or things like that. And I was still an overpacker. I would pack a carry-on, and I would also pack a big bag or two, depending when I'm going and where I'm going. But I was an overpacker, and it was not an easy task for me. I hated packing, and I still do, though. I don't like packing, and I don't like unpacking. It's really not an activity that I love, especially, I moved cities a lot. I moved countries a lot. So honestly, I do have a backstory with packing and moving. So, you'd think I've gotten used to it, but I didn't. But now, as I grew older, especially when I lived alone, I kind of like had to pack on my own. I had to do it. Nobody else was going to do it for me. So I think that once I started working at an international job where I had to, fly every month or twice a month, I kind of got habits and little tips and tricks that made my life so much easier. And one of my first trips that I started with work was to go to Nigeria, so to Lagos. And that's like, I think, a 7:30 hour trip one way. And also, the climate is very different than Paris, especially when I was traveling during, I think it was traveling during winter. So it was a bit complicated. It was very difficult for me to pack my outfit, products, and I was not sure what I'm supposed to take. And it was so hard for me. And I think one of the first tips that a girl that worked with me gave me, and she, had so much more experience than me, and she was like, if you are going to travel for work that much, pack only a carry-on. She was like, never pack a big bag for work. You don't need it. It's just going to be an extra, stress for you, and you're going to end up overpacking. And also, most importantly, you might lose your luggage, because I travel to so many countries at a time, and sometimes there is a high risk for your luggage to get lost. And she was like, if you're especially going for work, you want to arrive and everything you need is with you. You take it with you, you take it up to the plane with you, and it's not that heavy. It's maximum 12 kilos. That's allowed anyway. And I think that packing a carry-on kind of obliges you to not overpack, because you don't have the space anyway, and you pack efficiently. So I think that advice kind of started my expertise in packing, and I absolutely live by that. So this is definitely my first pro tip. Always pack a carry on if you're traveling, let's say a week or 10 days. I think you can fit everything you need in a carry on. And I did travel also for my personal trips with only a carry on. Like right now, I never, never, ever pack a big luggage unless necessary. I usually take it if I'm going to stay like 2 weeks in Morocco. I'm going, to see my family, and I know I'm going to do a lot of shopping, or I'm taking gifts, or if I know that, I'm going overseas for more than 10 days, things like that, I would then take a luggage with me. But usually I would take only a carry on. So this is my first big tip. And so if you are taking a carry on with you, I would highly recommend you invest in a good one. I know this is not the most budget friendly advice that I'm going to give today at all, but this is my biggest tip for today. Invest in a carry on. I'm not going to advise you to go get a Rimowa carry on, which is super expensive. I don't have one. I love those like luggage. I want to buy one, and I think I'm going to end up getting one sometimes in the future. But right now, at this point, when I started traveling for work, I got a Desley. I don't know how it's pronounced. Is it Desley or Desley? I think it's Desley. And it's a really good carry-on. It was not very expensive. I have like a black one, which is a carry-on size. I absolutely adore it. It's super practical. I've been traveling with it for over 4 years, and trust me, it's been through a lot, and it's still as great and as new, and I absolutely love it. I advise to invest in a very good carry-on, because I think the wheels are so important in a carry-on. You have to, take it with you in the airport, outside. Let's say you arrive to, I don't know, like a city where you have to walk to your hotel, or, go take a train. Like the wheels need to be very seamless, and they need to roll very fast. And investing in a good carry-on means that the wheels are going to be strong and they're going to be good. So this is so important for me. And the second one is, I know a lot of people would buy a carry-on, but the smallest size. Why are you doing that? I see a lot of people with very tiny carry-ons. You actually are allowed a bigger format at the airplanes. So even though you're traveling low cost, there's still like a size. I'm not sure which one. I think it's like 50 by 44 or something like that. It's the biggest carry-on size, and it does fit in your cabin, the airplane cabin, and it's perfect because you can fit everything in it. If you buy a small carry-on, obviously you're not going to fit anything in it. So I would advise you to invest in a good one, and also a good size. And I think this had made my life easier, because I can actually fit things in it. So that's 100% my top tip. And I would also get a tote bag. I travel always with an extra bag, and this is for my girls out there. I know guys would usually not need a tote bag, they usually have, a laptop case or, a laptop bag where they put their documents and laptop in it for, security. So you don't have to, open all your luggage and things like that. But both are okay. I know for my girlies out there, we all need a tote bag. You have seen this all over my social media and like stories and things like that. I always have a Longchamp bag. I have the pliage Longchamp bag, which you all know. It is a must have when you're a student. I think all students have a Longchamp bag. It's not very expensive, it's less than 100 euros, and it's, of course, the medium size. It is the best investment you will ever make. I love this bag. I travel with it, I take it to work, and it is the holy grail of travel bags and everyday bags. I think it's so perfect to put everything inside. It's really nice where you can throw it everywhere, then you can like wipe it, it doesn't get dirty. I already bought my second bag because I had one when I was a student and I made the mistake of putting it in a washing machine and the leather completely got ruined. But I've used it religiously for over like 5 years. Recently, I got the full black version. I think it's recycled leather. I absolutely adore it. I got it, I guess, 2 years or 3 years ago, and I cannot live without it. I take it to work everywhere and it fits so much, and I always put it on my carry-on and it helps me add extra things in it. I would put in the bag my laptop, I would put my electronics, I would put my book and a little pouch to have my skincare products or any products that I would use on the plane or to go. So it's perfect. I also would have, my documents in it. And it's so much easier at the airport, especially to just take out, the electronics and the products and things like that. So I would highly recommend this tote bag. And what I love about Longchamp is that the back closes. And usually tote bags, they don't close. That's why I haven't changed Longchamp yet. A lot of the very fancier nice tote bags, they don't close, and I cannot live without clothes in my bag. I'm literally on the go, running everywhere. I'm always afraid that my stuff would fall, and I'm afraid somebody steals my stuff as well. So I need something that closes, especially when you go through security, you throw your bag in, to do scanners and things like that. And your stuff will end up everywhere. So I love Longchamp for this. So highly recommend you invest in a Longchamp bag. However age you are, you'd love it, and it's like timeless. Okay. As I said, the biggest tips: invest in a good carry-on so you can put everything in it. Get yourself a tote bag that fits everything. I usually hate having, I see a lot of people travel with like too many bags, like a tote bag, a small bag, and oh God, just don't. Get a perfect sized bag. And then if you want to have your small clutch or your little mini bag, strap bag and everything, okay. But don't travel with too many things. It's unnecessary. It's gonna overcrowd you. So that's why I would always recommend a tote and a carry-on, okay? One of the things that I absolutely hated to pack and took me so much time are toiletries and products. I usually would spend 2 weeks, running around buying products and buying things and buying a new clutch and whatever, and forgetting half of the stuff that I wanted to buy, and then I'll panic one day before. And now that has completely changed once I set up a system. What I did is that I bought a toiletries bag. Usually you either get a clear pouch or, one of those plastic bags if you're traveling on the plane. So you have that, okay? And what I did is once I sat down before a trip and I bought all the mini, transparent clear bottles that you put your products in. So I bought those, and I also bought mini size products of my favorite products. Let's say, micellar water, or a small size of my, face wash, etc. And usually I would open them and fill them up every time. So I bought minis. I also bought like a mini shower gel, a mini whatever, mini cream, and things that I couldn't fill, like shampoo, I'll fill it in a clear bottle. And what I did is that I kept that pouch always in its like in a jar, and whenever I come back, I always just leave it. I don't empty it. I keep it there for my next trip. So I know that, the day before, I know that I already have a pouch with my products in it. You don't have to take them out, especially if you're traveling a lot like me. You're gonna use it very frequently, so I always keep it there. I don't fill in and fill out products from the minis at all. The only thing that I would take away is, for example, my sunscreen or my serum and things that I use daily. So those things are the only things that I would be adding, and the rest of the minis, they'll stay there. For example, lately I've bought a new face wash, so I'd fill up a mini, size, and I'll keep it there. And it's not a fuss, and it makes life so much easier. You have no idea, just to have a pouch with travel toiletries that they're on the go. I even have a brush for trips only. It stays there, like a brush and a toothpaste, and like a shower gel that's just for traveling. It's like a foam format that I really love from Rituals. And I'll always have these things, and I also have like a mini brush for my hair. So I'll always keep the pouch filled up, and literally one day before I travel, I'll just check it out to see if there's anything missing or I need to buy something new, so it doesn't stress me out. And I think this is my biggest tip, is to buy minis and leave them in a jar or in a pouch, so it's there and it doesn't stress you out. So this exact system for toiletries I do with a lot of other things in my carry-on. For example, I do travel a lot to Western and Central Africa. I usually have to have a medication pouch. So I'll always buy medications, anti-allergy. I will have like headaches, for diarrhea, for anything, like for fever. I will pack a bunch of medications, and especially anti-bites, like anti-moustique. So I always have to have a medication pouch, just in case I get bitten or I get an allergy or I eat something that doesn't stand well with my body. And this pouch, I will always keep filled with all the medications, and I will always just keep it in also another jar. And I remember every time I come back from a trip that I have to add a certain medication that I don't have any more of. But that's it. Like, I'll always keep it together, so whenever I'm traveling, I'm just gonna take it and put it in my carry-on. It makes life so much easier, and it's the same thing for everything that I have. In my go-to bag, I'll have, a pouch with electronics, which is chargers, things like that. And I know that pouch is designated for these things. So when you have like pouches designated for different things, it helps you remember what you need to pack because you do it over and over again. Now, this system of packing in bags or like clutches or like mini kits is so important, not only for toiletries, medications, or products, but also for documents. So, because I am frequently traveling, I have a lot of documents a lot of times, either like for e-visas, for my passport, for my vaccination card, for things like that. I will always have also another pouch where I have my documents constantly. I never empty it. It's always there. I used to first have, those Air France, which is like the airline pouches that they give you in an overnight flight, with toothpaste and like mask and things like that. And it's just like a small random pouch. I've put all of my documents there and I always take it with me. And it became so dirty that my friends have actually bought me a really nice one from a brand. And I absolutely love it. It's always filled with my documents and I never empty it. So I know for sure I never freak out when I'm traveling, either the night before or the day of when I'm at the airport. I'll always like open my bag and I see the pouch. I know that my stuff is in there. Like, I will have there like a pen or two. Always important to have a pen when you're traveling, because there's always like forms at the airport to sign and fill in. I'll have like my identity card. I will always have all of my credit cards there. So you have to know this about me. I don't carry a wallet. I only have a card holder. So I'll put my card holder in it, or I'll just take out the cards that I want, either my ID, my credit card, my, I don't know, my social security card, things like that. And I'll put cash in that same pouch. So that same pouch is my life. Okay. I put all my most important documents in that pouch, and I know that everything's there. So I don't get lost between wallet and this and documents and whatever. That pouch is my life, and it has, completely changed traveling for me to have different pouches for different things, like, honestly. And I know that the other day I was in Morocco, and my sister, I don't know, I was packing to come back to France, and she saw me packing all my pouches in my bag, and she was like, oh my God, this is way too organized for my liking. But it's true, it did make my life easier, especially to have like little, little system. Okay, now with that, system of pouches, I want to finish up this episode with the last tip, which is clothes. I know this is the most important part of the tips, but the most important thing that you have to know about packing clothes for a trip, especially a work trip or like, under a week trip, you will end up not wearing everything that you packed. So that's for sure. So you have to make sure every time you're traveling to not take outfits that you never wear in your day-to-day life. Honestly, when I traveled the first times for my work trips, I used to, get my, really, cool top or whatever shirt that I never wear, or like pants that I'm not even comfortable in, and I end up not wearing them because I think that whenever we travel, we feel like it's such an exceptional trip, and we end up overpacking with stuff that we never wear because we think it's the right occasion. Honestly, don't. When you're traveling, you want to be comfortable. You want to, I don't know, depending, of course, on the weather. If you're going on a summer holiday like now in August, you will end up packing just comfy things and shorts and little tops, and those do not take a lot of space anyway. But if you're traveling for winter, you cannot overpack because you don't have space for it. So what I will do is, of course, I'll take basics, things that I actually know that I will wear for sure. Like I know that I wear a lot, blouses, so little shirts, corporate. So I would pack 2 or 3 of those because I know that regardless of the weather, I will wear them because I like them. They're cute, they're smart casual. So I would pick 3 of those. And also, I would pick colors that I can mix and match. That's so important. I would pick, like black, blue, beige, white. And of course, I will pick a color. I'm not a big color girl, and I'm not a big pattern girl. I will always have like the very simple outfits, but I will always pick something really nice that I want to wear, especially if I know I'm going for a dinner or I'm going for, I have like exceptional like things that I want to wear, something super cute in, then for sure, like I will pack a very cute dress. No, no, no. But not all of your wardrobe has to be unique and special. I mean, you can for sure, but if you want to minimize your packing, you have to take also things that are practical and that you're gonna mix and match. For example, if you take 2 cute tops, make sure that, if they're like funky and cute, no, 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 make sure that the pants are classic so you can mix and match with all your tops, things like that. You have to try to find a balance, okay? Because of course it depends on your style. But for me, that's my experience. I know for sure that I try to take as many neutral tops and bottoms that will go together and I can mix and match. For example, like one jean, one black top, one black pants, and like a very flowy beige pants, for example. And I know I can mix and match it even with like a green top or like a pink top or a blue top. So they will all go with the bottoms, okay? So this is so, so, so important. And ideally, you guys, if you can, plan your outfits ahead, then you're a champion. That's the best case scenario. I don't usually do it, but I would plan one or two specific outfits because I know I have an event. I know lately I've traveled to I went to Dubai for the podcasting event, right? And I knew I had an event day where I wanted to look my best and also comfortable. So I did pack an outfit specifically for that day with like a top and a blazer and things like that. So it is so important for you to always think ahead, especially if you have a specific event. So that's also called planning ahead, and you will end up not getting, but packing exactly what you need for that trip. So that's the first outfit packing rule. The second one that has completely changed my life, because I said I pack a lot of neutral clothes that I can mix and match with like very simple colors and patterns and things like that, especially for work. I will have fun with accessories. So, this is where I would pack extra silk scarves that I absolutely adore right now. I will pack, extra jewelry so it makes my outfit pop, like really nice, colorful earrings, or, a top, not a top, but like a blazer that's like a pop of color. Usually, I would pick, for example, the outwear I will wear at the airport. So, I don't overbag. I'll take one blazer and one cardigan, and I will wear one of those at the airport for sure because it's always cold in the airplane anyway, so I will wear it. And I wanted to also talk about shoes because I know usually I used to overpack shoes. I'm obsessed with shoes. As much as I have one bag that I carry everywhere, shoes are like my fun thing. I want to take all my shoes with me, but I realized at the end of the day that I don't always wear them, and I will always end up wearing, one or two, and I'll alternate depending on the day. So usually I would be wearing sneakers at the airport always because it's so much more easier to, go around and be running around. And of course, I'll always have my hair tools packed, in like a pouch. And I will always put my shoes also in a pouch or like in little I don't know how you say this, but my Moroccan friends will understand. When you go do your grocery shopping at like hanout, little grocery boutiques, and they put your, groceries in like these tissue bags. Those you have to save. I love those for shoes, especially if I don't have a pouch for shoes because not all brands they give you pouches. I would literally save them. I have a ton in my house, and I would put my shoes in it like a dust bag. I love them so much. So you save them and use them when you travel. I would put my small bags if I have a clutch that doesn't have a dust bag. I'll put them in there. They're amazing. They're perfect for traveling and packing things. Last but not least, my favorite packing tip that has revolutionized my carry-on packing is the packing cubes. You guys, you have to buy them. Like, pause this podcast and go order them. They're on Amazon for sure. They're probably sell them on Jumia. I don't know. Go get packing cubes. It's this little like not boxes. They are basically pouches and mini bags that you can zip. They come in different compartments, and you can actually organize your clothes per category. And the most important thing is you can it squeezes your clothes so you have space in your carry-on. I have bought mine literally 5 years ago from Amazon, and I still have the same ones, and I use them every time I travel, and they've absolutely changed the way I organize my clothes. I know, like the big pouch, I put pants and my pajamas, and then I'll put, like my underwear in a pouch. I'll put my shirts and blouses in a pouch, and it helps you organize so seamlessly, and it leaves a lot of space in your carry-on, and that's the best thing ever. I know that they also sell them at a store called Miniso. I know it exists in Morocco and in France. And they also sell them in a bunch of gadget stores and things like that. And they're the best investment. They're not even expensive. I love them so much, and they help me organize a lot, all of my clothes. And with time, since I travel so much, I know exactly which pouch, what goes in which pouch. So if I, let's say, I forget my pajamas, then I'll be like, wait, this pouch is empty. Something has to go here. And then I'll put my pajamas or like sportswear or whatever. So definitely buy these cubes. This wraps up pretty much all of my packing tips that I've established in the past couple of years. I absolutely love my system right now. Everything's set and I can travel seamlessly because, traveling is already stressful as it is. So once have your own system and adopt tips, it kind of makes your life really easier and you have time to focus on other things. Like, before your trip, you probably have either work to do if you're going for a work trip, or you have shopping to do if you're visiting family and you want to like shop for gifts, or you want to shop for your own travel outfits, or for my girls out there that need to go get prepped and do their hair and nails and wax and everything. It's already so much stress. I know that these tips have definitely changed my traveling game. I hope they changed yours. If you've enjoyed this episode, please rate and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And don't hesitate to leave a comment on Instagram and let me know if you like these types of episodes at NouTalks. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.